Hello guys, my name's Colin and this is Colin Talks Crypto. I hope you're doing very well. I just had to drop a quick video in regard to the Mt. Gox news. As you've probably seen, we were all blasted with this news piece, this sort of FUD article in my opinion, this morning from the Mt. Gox trustee, rehabilitation debtor, or whatever. I got the thing right here. Here, I'll read the first two lines with you and I'm going to explain why I really don't feel like this is that bearish, especially on the short term. So it says, notice regarding commencement of repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. The rehabilitation trustee has been preparing to make repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash under the rehabilitation plan, and yada, yada, yada. The repayments will be made from the beginning of July 2024. And so right now we're about 2/3 of the way through June. We have about a week or a little more than a week until the beginning of July. So why am I not so worried about this? First of all, when it comes to news and like fearful FUD-based news articles, even if there's some grounding in truth, like first of all, like, do we know that this is legitimate? I'm going to assume it is legitimate, okay, for the sake of this video. But if it's not legitimate, then the whole thing goes out the window. Assuming it's legitimate, it's not for another 10 plus days. Like it's not immediate. And yet the market took this immediate dump down to about $60,000 on the back of this news. And it happened very rapidly. And often, in my experience, what I've seen is people become fearful. They see an article that says something that's very like FUD worthy and they dump their coins. And that's what happened. And it happened very rapidly. And I think that what's going to happen is the price is going to rebound before July. And we're going to see a recovery. Now, I don't know if it's going to be to all-time highs. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that it looks like it's going to recover, definitely above the 60,000 mark. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is the dollar amount that I've seen quoted is that this is about $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is, to put it in perspective, about half the volume of Bitcoin that has been accumulated through the ETFs throughout their entire lifetime. So you could say that it's fairly considerable. But honestly, it's not going to be all of 9 billion. First of all, the thing about this post that has me not so bearish is that it says, again, I'm going to read it to you. The rehabilitation trustee has been preparing to make repayments in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. It doesn't say in dollars. So the worst case scenario would be that the Mt. Gox trustee liquidated $9 billion of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and gave the dollars to all the users, because that's a lot more friction for a user to have to then consciously go, I'd like to buy back into the market. You know, it's a lot harder for that to occur. But this is the flip side. This is, we're going to send you the Bitcoin. We're going to send you the Bitcoin Cash, and then you can decide what you want to do with it. And so the friction is on the other side of the coin. Now it's up to the users. If they really want to sell, they have to click the sell button and they have to withdraw that to their account or do whatever they want to do with it. But it's an extra step. So it's not a default that $9 billion are being sold. And if that's the headline, that's very misleading, because I'd be surprised if more than 70% sold. So right there, you have not the full amount selling their Bitcoin and their Bitcoin Cash. And just as a side note, the reason they're getting Bitcoin Cash, I think, is because the fork took place in about 2017, 3 or 4 years after the Mt. Gox hack occurred. And so they're getting their split coins. As a side note, I find it interesting they're not getting any other forked coins like Bitcoin SV, or there's a few other offshoots, but that have not really any significant value. But they are getting their Bitcoin Cash. And that's why, because there was a fork. And so that's cool, actually, that they're getting their forked coins, at least for that particular blockchain. I'm just looking at the article here, or the post here. And again, just to compound the proof that they're not selling all $9 billion worth of Bitcoin, is it says, we have taken time to ensure safe and reliable payment to creditors, including technical remedies for safe repayments, compliance with financial regulations in each country, and discussion of repayment arrangements with the cryptocurrency exchanges. They wouldn't need cryptocurrency exchanges or arrangements with them if they were just going to send US dollars to your bank accounts. So honestly, I think this is pretty bullish. Like, please wait for a while until the repayments are made. That's an interesting final line. So up at the top here, it says the repayments will be made from the beginning of July 2024. And then down here it says, please wait for a while until the repayments are made. We've seen this kind of news like 3 times now where Mt. Gox has talked about refunding investors. So again, I'm not too shaken up by this. You know, the initial reaction is definitely FUD, fear, like, oh my gosh, they're going to sell. But the more you think about it, like, this is like the 3rd time we've heard it. There's already kind of ambiguous statements in this write-up here where it's saying, please wait for a while, but then that will be made in the beginning of July 2024. They're not being sold for USD. They're being sent in Bitcoin. So anyone who wants to sell it has to take that extra step, actually press the sell button. And we're in the middle of kind of a bull run right now. So I guarantee you there's at least like half the market participants thinking, maybe I want to hold on for a little longer. And for sure, there's going to be some, this is early Bitcoin, right? This is like Bitcoin under $100. So there'll be definitely some market participants who are happy to take the, what is it, like a 600x gain at this point? Like, absolutely, don't get me wrong. There will be those participants who want to take profits. And rightly so. I mean, that's a humongous gain, and who would want to risk losing all of that? So I think that we will see something in the middle. I think it'll be not the full 9 billion being sold for USD, and I think it won't be 0. I think it'll be somewhere in the middle. So let's say it's $6 billion sold. Okay, Bitcoin can recover from that. And it's not happening right now, and yet the market's tanking right now, pricing it in, right? Well, it's really just a bunch of fearful people, weak-handed, paper-handing their Bitcoin. And watch that. I'm sure the price is going to bounce, and we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But my personal reaction, could be wrong, is like this is a news-created price movement. And price action, in my experience, price action that is a byproduct of a fearful or exuberant, exciting news article usually has very short-lasting effect. Usually it dies out very quickly. You know, even on the bullish side of things, you see some really bullish article, like some new Rolls-Royce power reactor invention, you know, is coming. Like, I can guarantee you that's going to pump the price for about a day. And it's probably what the person who wrote the article wanted it to do, is pump the price for a day so they could exit their position. That's probably what happened. And on the contrary, you know, you see something like this, and sure, there could be some truth to it. Yeah, it's probably going to happen eventually. But, you know, it has this immediate, massive, probably day-long downturn in the price. And then some people go, wait a minute, this isn't even happening today. This is happening maybe next month. And it's probably not as fearful as we all initially thought. So that's my 2 cents in the matter, guys. I'm holding. I'm not selling any Bitcoin. I'm waiting for at least $120,000 or higher to begin selling my Bitcoin, because I'm not ready to take profits on a measly 1x of the previous all-time high. Be safe, be rational, don't panic sell. Just think about it for a second. And maybe there's some good opportunities. Like if it does dip down further, if it really tanks, consider that a buying opportunity. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to do. I have my eye on a few coins. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you again soon. Peace.